Hello, trading is closed on January 11th, 2018. My last call said that yesterday's trade was negative unless we gapped over this high, which is what happened. During the day, at this time, MEJT said ultimately lower prices would print, but when they did, it said the move was false and they would retrace and overtake this line, which they did, and there's nothing from the system for tomorrow. Well, this is the trend line we've been looking at. It's a pretty long-term trend line. There was resistance there. The first break wasn't a valid one because it wasn't a gap. The second break doesn't have to be a gap over the line, but it was. And to me, this is a valid break of the line. It implies higher prices are coming. I had all kinds of explanations had we stopped here, but I don't have a lot of good explanations for us to stop here. That doesn't mean we have to go up every day. And it's still possible for this break to be invalidated if we reverse quickly, which I'm not predicting. But in general, I'm expecting higher prices now because we overcame a strong resistance area. The good news for the bulls doesn't really end there, because tomorrow's pattern and Tuesday's pattern after the Martin Luther King holiday each tend to be positive patterns. They tend to have an early low, a late high, and they tend to rally into the close. If they are to have negative closes, it's usually obvious early by moving down sharply in the first hour. Now, just because I think higher prices are coming, unless this move is invalidated very quickly, it doesn't mean we have to go straight up from the close. This close is, there's a wall into the close. There's a Hobson close right at the high of the day. There's great Fibonacci argument for us to stop here. The Hobson close, by the way, usually leads to gaps down. But if it's a new high, it only works half the time. So half the time it isn't going to work. And I guess you can always find a trend line someplace if you connect these lows. Here's that trend line here, but I frankly think the other one we have is more impressive than this one. So even though I think there's at least a 50-50 and perhaps greater than 50-50 chance that we gap down at tomorrow's open, unless it's a very sharp move, ideally undercutting this low, which I'm not expecting. Unless that happens, I think higher prices are coming with low to high patterns on Friday and Tuesday as well. I should point out, if we close higher Friday and close higher Tuesday, it sets up a pattern based on somebody else's work in which there should either be a rapid acceleration of the advance or a sharp drop. But that hasn't happened yet, and we'll have to see what happens. And that's today's call.